Hey guys, so quite a few different things I want to talk about today, so let's just jump right into it. First off, before I was talking about how now that we have the Memento stage, there are still 5 spaces for extra stages, and since we only have 4 more DLC characters part of this fighter pass, I was speculating on what that 5th spot could be. It could be like an extra stage. Well, some people pointed out to me that when you go to make a new rule set in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate now, there's actually a spot for custom stages, and then there's only 4 blank spaces, so most likely that is why there is that extra spot. It's for when you do the rule set, when you add what stages can show up when you randomly select a stage, it's so that there's a button there for custom stages. I hadn't seen that screen yet, so I was assuming there was going to be an extra stage, but yeah, I think it's probably just for this. Okay, so now that that mystery is solved, we actually have some light shedded on another mystery. The mystery of, are we going to get any new versions of the Switch? There was a lot of talk that there might be 2 new Switch versions coming out. I had heard from someone some specific details, no idea if they're true or not, but we got this statement from Nintendo. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa commented on some of the speculation during a financial results briefing regarding the recent rumors of new Nintendo Switch models, with one rumor saying it would make an announcement at E3 2019. He said that new hardware will not be announced at E3, and added that the company has nothing to announce on possible new hardware, but it is always developing hardware internally. Okay, so essentially what's being said is that if there is a new Switch model being made, or Switch models being made, they're not going to announce them at E3, or they have no plans to announce them at E3. It's not that crazy to me, even if there are some new Switch models in the works. Let's say they get released in holiday season this year. Perhaps Nintendo doesn't want to announce them as early as E3, because then people who are planning on buying a Switch might hold out waiting for those new versions instead of, making that initial purchase, and Nintendo could hurt their own sales over the few months after E3 until those models come out. So yeah, it does make financial sense. Again, I'm just speculating on when that could come out. Maybe those new Switch models won't come out for a year later, many years later, who has any idea? But yeah, no plans to announce them at E3. So we did end up getting some more information about Persona 5 The Royal for PS4, and that female character now has a name. Her name is Kasumi, and she is not a female protagonist alternate to Joker, so it's not like there's a male and female protagonist character now. She is just another female character in the game. She uses a sword. She also looks like she has some sort of almost shotgun weapon or something like that, so I don't know if that whole Jane code that was found in Smash had anything to do with this character, if they were at all thinking about giving Joker a alternate female costume or an alternate Kasumi costume or what. I have absolutely no idea, but we do now know her name, Kasumi, and yeah, she's going to be a part of Persona 5 The Royal. We also see now that Joker has a grappling hook in Persona 5 The Royal, so that does prove that Nintendo and Smash were looking at this game when creating Joker's moveset. So again, it is possible that that Jane code that was found on one of Joker's alternate costumes could have been to implement Kasumi as one of his alts, and maybe they just scrapped that. No idea. The whole Jane thing is still a big mystery, but now that we see that Joker does use a grappling hook in this game, and he uses a grappling hook in Smash, yeah, they were looking at this game to create his moveset. And the other Persona 5 news that we got is we now have a full title for P5S. It is Persona 5 Scramble the Phantom Strikers, and this game is coming out for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. So we had a Best Buy leak about how Persona 5 was going to be on Nintendo Switch. Now this game, Persona 5 Scramble the Phantom Strikers, is like a Dynasty Warriors style game. It is not the Persona 5 game most people thought might come to Switch. This is like a spin-off title. So I don't know if that Best Buy leak that just said Persona 5 Switch is this game. Perhaps they just didn't have the full title yet, and that was a placeholder for this game. Or perhaps Persona 5 actually is coming to Switch eventually, and that Best Buy leak was leaking that. I have no idea. I'm kind of more leaning that this was probably the Switch title that, Best Buy leaked. So yeah, did we get Persona 5 on the Switch? We did. Did we get Persona 5 the way we wanted it? I don't know. I don't know if this is really the game people were expecting, but yeah, it's a Persona 5 spin-off game, kind of like a Dynasty Warriors game, and it's coming to Switch. And now, as far as Smash News itself goes, we actually have Vergeben talking again. Vergeben is talking about DLC characters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Vergeben was basically spot on as far as the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate base roster is concerned. And then when DLC started, he said that the first character that would get shown off would be the Square rep, and we didn't get that. We got Joker instead. Then there was a Nintendo Direct, and Vergeben said that a Zelda game would get shown off, but it wouldn't have anything to do with Link's Awakening. He said that he actually had heard a rumor about a Zelda game having to do with Link's Awakening, but that he didn't think it would get shown off in that Nintendo Direct, and then we got the Nintendo Direct, and yeah, it was a Link's Awakening remake that was shown off, so he was wrong about that. However, shortly after that, Cadence of Hyrule was shown off, so there is the benefit of the doubt there that Vergeben may have thought it was going to be that game that would be shown off, and again, he did hear about a Link's Awakening rumor a while back, so I still think Vergeben is very much so worth listening to. I think he does have sources, I think he can get things right, so we should still listen to what he has to say. So Vergeben posted this about Erdrick's chances in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He said, "I can't help but find the ignorance to be hilarious, rolling on the floor laughing. I can even use an example. The latest Weekly Shonen Jump issue 22-23 cover has Luffy from One Piece wearing an outfit referencing Erdrick/Roto. Roto is Erdrick's Japanese name. And then he posted an image. You people still have no idea how big of a deal his character reveal will be to the people in Japan. The least you could do is admit it." And then he went on to say, "Erdrick is one of the Fighter Pass characters, period. There you go. I am not the only one who has heard it is Erdrick either. Erdrick is still strongly backed by Tansa and Zen Other, and etc." So there you go. Vergeben is now saying Erdrick is a DLC fighter for sure. Is no longer saying it's a Square rep and Erdrick's the one he heard the most, or it's most likely Erdrick. It is now just Vergeben believes Erdrick is a DLC fighter. And I have to say, I'm kind of in the same boat. I do also believe Erdrick is most likely in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and will probably be our next DLC fighter. And then Vergeben wrote, "I don't personally know or have heard that Steve will be DLC, but Minecraft content is coming to the game at some point from what I know. Discussions with Microsoft happened and Minecraft was decided on to some extent. Does that confirm Steve is coming? I don't personally know. But other insiders and leakers that I am sure you have heard about by now, people that I have spoke with before, have heard and talked about Minecraft coming to Smash, with some of them hearing Steve in particular would be a playable character. I cannot back that personally because I don't personally know if that is what is resulted in other than some form of Minecraft content coming to the game as DLC. That's all there needs to be said about Steve when it comes to me, what I know and what I heard." Okay, so while Vergeben is going all in with Erdrick as a DLC fighter, he is not saying Steve is a fighter. He's just saying Minecraft content, which has always been Vergeben's stance, that it would just be Minecraft content. Right around before the game first came out, I think it was like in November, Vergeben said something about how Minecraft content was probably supposed to be a boss, or at least that's what he had heard for sure, and then we got Smash and we have seen all the bosses and there's no Minecraft boss. It's still possible there's some sort of boss DLC or something, so maybe that still holds true, but whatever it is, Vergeben is saying Minecraft content in some form is coming to Smash. Now I want to highlight another leaker that has actually talked about Steve recently, but before I do that, I just want to highlight this post real quick. This was Doom's Twitter account, and it says, "This is beautiful," and it shows a picture of like the Doom logo that was built in Stage Builder for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I know the 5chan leak had like Doom Marine on it, and although the 5chan leak is dead, a lot of people still really like those characters, specifically Doom Marine and Ryu were pretty popular. So does this deconfirm the Doom Marine? The whole thing here is, do official people talking about a character or talking about specifically Smash and that game series together, does that break some sort of non-disclosure agreement? If, say, Doom is coming to Smash, can the official Doom Twitter, comment on a stage that was built in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? I really don't know. So I made a video about how some people tweeting about Steve's chances in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, some official Minecraft people tweeting about that, could hurt Steve's chances because it might break a non-disclosure agreement. Whether or not those people are part of a non-disclosure agreement or even know if their company that they work for is, working to get that character in Smash, It's really unclear, but I still feel like if you worked for a company that might have a character in Smash, there might be whispers of rumors about that, or you may just, not say anything because, hey, if the higher-ups are working on that, I could lose my job if I say something one way or the other. So that's always how I've kind of looked at it. I don't think these deconfirm characters necessarily. So even with that Twitter stuff that was said about Steve, I don't think Steve is deconfirmed over that, but it's sort of a soft deconfirmation, or at least it's something that hurts the character's chances because it might break a non-disclosure agreement. So yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth on that for companies that have mentioned a character in Smash or have made comments about a character in Smash, or official people working for those companies have made some sort of comment. Yeah, it's not totally clear, but I will say I don't think it helps the character's chances. I think it hurts the character's chances. Okay, so all that said, I never thought Steve was deconfirmed for Smash. I just thought some things were hurting his chances. Now we have a leaker talking about Steve, however. This leaker is Master0fHyrules over on Twitter, and the O and of is a 0 if you want to check out his Twitter. So recently, Master0fHyrules wrote this. They said, "There are many signs that Steve is the next DLC in Smash Bros. Ultimate. E3 2019 will be his announcement." Now, the thing about Master0fHyrules is they have, in fact, predicted things for Smash in the past. Specifically, they've predicted things for E3 in the past, which kind of points that they may have an E3 source of some kind. Their leak was pretty well documented, so I'll just read it. It says, "Battlefield and E3 2018 booth leak. On April 24th, 2018, a YouTuber by the name of Master0fHyrules claimed on Twitter that a source had told him that Bayonetta, Duck Hunt, and Shulk would return as playable characters for the upcoming game. On the same day, he claimed to have seen the new version of Battlefield and uploaded an image of which he described as a small piece of it from the top-down view." Over on the side there, that first image on the left, that's the image he uploaded, which is in fact our Battlefield. A day later, a YouTuber user by the name of GU King of Heart published a video in which he claimed that he received information about display items being featured at the Super Smash Bros. Section of Nintendo's then upcoming E3 2018 booth. He claimed that his source was the same source that leaked the Nintendo E3 2017 booth would have a New Donk City themed area, which turned out to be true. He revealed the following, and then it gives a list of items that would be seen on the showroom floor. Master0fHyrules had also tweeted back in 2017, "Rumor, Nintendo's showroom floor for E3 will be themed like New Donk City from Mario Odyssey," which did in fact turn out to be true. And last year's E3 did have a bunch of items for those Smash characters, so it's possible Master0fHyrules has some sort of connection to either someone who does prop design for Nintendo and builds their showrooms for E3, or possibly just sets up E3, something like that, and maybe they saw the Duck Hunt can, Bayonetta's guns, and the Monado, and assumed, those characters are going to be in Smash Ultimate again, and that's where Master0fHyrules got that information. Obviously, that's just me speculating on what his source might be, but it does seem to make sense as he has gotten things right for E3. And then he had this to say about his new claim of Steve being shown at E3. "I can't ignore this much further. Why is this blowing up now? I posted this days ago." Honestly, I have no idea. He posted it on the 26th, and I heard about it yesterday, and it seemed a lot of people heard about it yesterday. I don't know why. Anyways, this tweet is particle predictions and particle speculation. I assume he meant partial predictions, partial speculation, for things that were posted over time, like Microsoft posting how they dig Smash and a few other things. If someone leaks stuff to me this year, like the past 2 years, I will not be posting about them. Yes, 2 years straight I got real leaks for E3 and came true. I'm no longer in talks with the guy. Good friend, but things went sour. Can't get into it. Didn't expect this to blow up. Okay, so there you go. He's saying he no longer has his E3 source that was right 2 years in a row, and that Steve being at E3 is just a prediction based on the same information we are all privy to. So, yeah, the guy still did get things right twice for E3, and since I don't know for sure if he actually doesn't have that source, and this might be coming from that source, I still think this is worth looking at, but yeah, seems like what he's saying is that it is, in fact, just a prediction. Okay, so take the Master0fHyrules E3 Steve thing as a prediction or a rumor at best. And what's any good Steve rumor without a Banjo rumor? So I recently heard a Banjo rumor, and do in fact just take this as a rumor because I have no proof of this. Essentially, someone contacted me and said they are an Xbox ambassador, and they showed me some proof that they are in fact part of the Xbox ambassador Discord channel. Now, before we get into this, I just want to highlight that Xbox Ambassador, while it sounds really official and stuff, is actually a program anyone can sign up for, and it's really more about just getting like reward points and you know, helping people out in like forums and stuff. So it's not that big of a deal. Even though it sounds really official, it's not that big of a deal. So this Xbox ambassador contacted me and told me how they help run events at their Microsoft store and that they're friends with the employees that work there and stuff. Apparently after one of these events, they were looking at the displays and noticed a few games had recently been added to the displays. Those games were Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, and Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. According to them, it's apparently very rare for these displays to ever be updated with new games, and usually when a new game is installed, it has to do with some sort of like tie-in. They said a Apex Legend Gold deal as an example. So Banjo's games are also the only single-player games on there apparently. All the other games are like online multiplayer games. I guess the employees at the Microsoft store were also perplexed why the Banjo games were recently installed and haven't gotten a clear answer on that. Now, I haven't seen the Banjo games on displays in Microsoft stores. I don't know if that means that they're installed into the displays and are viewable to the public yet, or if they're installed on the displays and at some point, you know, the employees will get the go-ahead to make that public and show those games on the displays. So I don't know if anyone can actually check this or not, but this is what someone is telling me. This person is, again, an Xbox ambassador, which is something anyone can sign up for, and the only proof they gave me was that they are, in fact, an Xbox ambassador. It's not that crazy to me, though. I could see somebody helping out with events and noticing this, so until we get some actual proof of this, though, just take it as a rumor. But if it is true and Banjo's games are being added to displays at Microsoft stores, I feel like there has to be a reason for that. And we're pretty close to E3, and there's a lot of talk of Banjo coming to Smash. It could be something. I have noticed Microsoft has been pushing Banjo a bit more than they have in years past. There's some Banjo merchandise and stuff that has come out in like the last year or so, when for years and years there's basically been nothing. So yeah, this could add up to that, and maybe it could tie into Smash. So until we get confirmation, that one's just a rumor. I don't know if there's any Microsoft Store employees out there that can back that up and have noticed the Banjo games installed on their displays. So one other final thing that happened in Smash news is Push Dustin from Source Gaming, which is an awesome channel. I'll put a link to it in the description below. So Push Dustin writes, "This was sent on Smash release date to Japanese users. Right now, the team and I are working on the DLC. This includes the already announced Joker from Persona 5, Fighter number 2, Fighter number 3, and one more thing, translation note, literally something. Please look forward to the DLC." So what's interesting about this is we're not sure if that something has been revealed yet or not. It could be Stage Builder. That would make sense to me. They might have been talking about Stage Builder. The other really interesting thing is that they specifically say Joker, Fighter number 2, and Fighter number 3. They don't mention Fighter 4 or 5, implying that they were in fact working on Joker, and then whoever Fighter 2 and Fighter 3 was at that time. So it's kind of possible that Fighter 2 and Fighter 3 could both be shown off at E3, for instance. Obviously, this doesn't prove anything like that, but it proves that they were, in fact, working on those 3 fighters and not necessarily Fighter 4 and 5 yet at that time. So possibly Fighter 2 and Fighter 3 are further along than maybe we think. We could get them shown off at E3 and possibly also released right at the same time. I could see that happening. Obviously, again, just speculation on my part. It's just interesting they left out Fighter 4 and Fighter 5 there. So that's basically everything I wanted to cover in this video. I still want to do a Me Costume Theory focused video. I haven't forgotten about that. This last week or so, I basically stayed offline for quite a few days to not spoil Endgame, and then Game of Thrones kind of took over my life, so I was like looking on Game of Thrones forums and stuff like that, because it's like the last season of that and everything. So some of my other nerdy fandom stuff has just been my focus lately, and I haven't really been looking at Smash, but yeah, I still do want to do that Me Costume Theory video, so that will be coming. So what do you guys think about all that stuff I just talked about in this video? It seems like there's still a lot of back and forth stuff between Steve and Banjo and who might get in. Vergeben now going all in on Erdrick, and yeah, I'm still thinking Erdrick is pretty likely. And then Push Dustin talking about that translation of Fighter 2 and Fighter 3. I could see getting Erdrick and the Microsoft rep, whether that's Steve or Banjo, at E3. I could see both those being announced. So what do you guys think about all that? Leave me some comments below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. Really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.